Hello, YouTube, Internet, world. Welcome back to another episode of Dime Store Cinema on the road. Let's talk movies. So today, I would like to talk about the Jim Jarmusch film, Limits of Control. First off, I want to apologize for the way I say his name, Jim Jarmusch. I know it's not right. I know how to say it, but for some reason my mouth does not translate what my brain tells me the word is. There are a few words like this. For some reason my mouth just can't say. One is mile and smile. If you ever hear me say it, you might notice that I overpronounce them, and it's because I really have to focus on them in order to get them out of my mouth. Otherwise, they just come out wrong. And Jim Jarmusch is another one like that. And it drives me crazy because I really like his movies and I want to talk about him all the time, but I'm embarrassed because I can't say his name, and it's infuriating. In any case, from this point on, I'm just going to call him Jim. So Jim's film, Limits of Control. Now, this is a movie that I don't think gets talked about enough. And I think that's true of most of Jim's films, just because, he makes kind of weird and independent movies. He's kind of an auteur, so he's not going to get a lot of the mainstream focus, but at the same time, I listen to a lot of reviewers, I talk to a lot of people about movies, and his movies aren't really ones that come up as much as I think they should. Coffee and Cigarettes is one of my all-time favorite movies, and gosh, I can't even think. Oh yeah, Down by Law has one of the greatest line deliveries in cinema history. And those are just two examples. I can't wait to see Patterson. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's on my queue on Amazon. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. In any case, he tends to, with his movies, he always has a thing. He very rarely just does a straightforward story. There's always an element that I think just interests him or gives him something to think about. He seems like the kind of person who would be just bored with telling a normal story, and maybe that's not true. But to me, the interviews that I've seen him give and just the movies he makes, it always seems like he needs to have a thing. And in this movie's no different. He has a thing. And it's interesting. It's something that I'd never seen done before. And so the story is, it follows this assassin of sorts, a hired fixer. And so it's essentially just following him as he prepares to do this job. And it follows him as things unfold, and he figures out what he needs to do and where he needs to go and to whom he needs to do it. But what sets this apart from just being a normal story like that is that every scene in the movie takes place in between the actions. The actions that are normally shown in movies are the actions that are just alluded to in this movie, and all the in-between actions that are alluded to in normal movies are the actions in this movie. And I think that might be why maybe not very many people talk about it. I can't imagine. I think maybe some people might find it boring. But I find it to be simultaneously hilarious and brilliant. Almost kind of like maybe not quite, but kind of trolling the audience. Is just like, yeah, I'm not going to show you any of the interesting stuff. I'm going to show you the day-to-day stuff, the him in his apartment and him having a conversation with people. And it's just... And I mean, it's not strictly that. It does show some action, but like, even one of the lines in the movie where it shows him outside of this compound that he has to get into, and it's one of those things where it's like, this is the normal scene in the movie, the cool scene in the movie, where it shows him like eluding capture and figuring out the blueprints of the building and sneaking around and taking out guards. And in this movie, it cuts from him being outside looking at all of the crazy security in this building to him sitting inside in the room where he wants to be, getting the drop on the guy he wants to get the drop on, who is Bill Murray, which, once again, Bill Murray's in this movie automatically makes it better. So, and then the line is, how did you get in here? And Bill Murray delivers that line. And the main guy, he just says, use your imagination. And, like, that is the entire movie wrapped up in one line. And it's amazing, because it's just like, how did this happen? And the whole thing is just use your imagination. The movie is the audience's movie. They get to essentially have a framework for what everything happened in this movie. And you know, as much as I'm talking about this, I didn't like it as much as what I'm saying might portray, because it is kind of slow. It does have some pacing issues, but conceptually, it makes me love this. The concept of it makes me love it more than the film itself, which isn't necessarily a good thing when you're talking about movies and storytelling. But at the same time, I had so much fun just thinking about this movie. And, you know, if that's what he was going for, then it's an absolute success. And, I mean, regardless of what the film is, the fact that I can have fun thinking about it and have fun watching it, and the fact that Bill Murray's in it, you know, it makes the movie worth it. It makes the movie worth the experience of watching. And I want to watch it again. I haven't gotten the chance to. It was one of the movies that I think, and I'm not positive, I had to sell most of my movies when I moved. So this was one that I owned, and I had always planned on rewatching and actually studying and taking notes and stuff like that. And I never got around to it, and I can't remember if it's one that I sold. If it is, eventually I'd like to get it again so that I can do that and watch it again and study it and everything like that. But in any case, yeah, like conceptually, I think this is an absolute brilliant movie, and yeah, I really want to watch it again. I mean, I don't know what anyone else thinks about it. I've never heard anyone talk about this movie. Even when they're talking about Jim's films, I never hear this one brought up. And I don't know if it's because people don't like it, or if no one has seen it, or if it just kind of went under the radar. I'm not sure. But all I know is that it's a very clever movie. It's very clever, and it makes me smile, because like I said, I don't know if he was trying to troll people, but it kind of does, even if it wasn't the intent, and that makes me smile. In any case, yeah, Limits of Control. I suggest watching it. I would give it a try. I would experience it, because it's interesting. It's different than pretty much anything else you will have seen, I'm sure. So thank you all for watching. Please like, please subscribe if you're into that kind of thing. The subscribe will be up here somewhere. Thank you, and I will talk to you all next time.